Hello there everyone, 'tis me here. First of all, apologies for yesterday that you didn't get a video. Excuse me. I sometimes get split vision, so to me it's like looking through a broken mirror at stuff, and sometimes it's to do with my blood sugars have dropped, or it's the start of a migraine and it wouldn't budge. And it just started to get worse and worse. So I just thought, do you know what? We'll draw a line under yesterday and we'll start afresh today. So I am going to give you the prompts for the 26th, which is today, and the 27th, which is tomorrow. All right, so I'm going to give you two prompts, and then I'm going to show you some stuff in my journal. So I've already written them out. So the 26th of February, the prompt is Goals, Hopes, Dreams 2021. Now, you could just punch out some shapes and stick them on and write in at each of the shapes what your goals, your hopes and your dreams are for the next month, for the next 6 months, for the whole year. You could actually do a table, so you could use the ledger sheets or graph paper, and you could list them down, and then you could set yourself some goals. So you could put the months and say, you know, I want to achieve that goal by that date. But yeah, so it's all about your goals, your hopes, your dreams. It could be about projects, it could be about weight loss, it could be about saving some money, but write down your goals, your hopes and your dreams. Okay, so that's today's prompt. The prompt for tomorrow, the 27th, is cook your favourite recipe. Okay, cook your favourite recipe. Now, it could be a handed down recipe that's, you know, gone through the family. It could be your own recipe. It could be a famous chef's recipe. But if you don't necessarily have to cook it, but if you've got a photograph of it, if you cook it, take a photograph of it, include that in the on the page in your journal. You could write down the recipe and the instructions, and then next to the recipe you could make a note of how much those ingredients are now, today, so that in 5-10 years time, when you have a look through your journal again, you'll go, oh, blimey, that was only £1 back in 2001, 2021. I forgot what year we're in. Whereas, like, it's 2030 now, and it's like £5 now for one of those, you know. So it's always interesting to look back at prices of things. So I shall leave that up to you, what you do with those two prompts. So we've got goals, hopes and dreams, and cook your favourite recipe. All right. So those are they. Now then, I managed to finish off. I've got that many sticky out label bits in the top of my journal to remind me of what's what. Okay, so I managed to finish off my picture frames. So it was make a picture frame, stamp or doodle, and add a photo. Because obviously I wasn't very well yesterday, I cheated. And these were some papers that I'd already got. And basically what I did was, with a stencil, I used Versamark through the stencil. And then I did that on a painted background. And then I added some embossing powders. So this one was a white glittery one, and this was a white matte embossing powder that I used. So I cut out the centre using a parenthesis die. I'll be able to speak in a minute. I used a page die that I'd got, which gave me the decorative edge. I'll show you a bit of a close-up in a minute. I put some acetate on the back of the aperture, and then I've left the pocket open at the top to be able to add a photo in there. But when I add the photos, I'll put a little tab on the top of them, which will protrude just above the actual frame itself. So then it makes it easier to slide it in and out. I then attached those die cut pieces onto a piece of decorative paper which I'd created as the background. So I'll give you a bit of a close-up now so that you can see. So that was the white glittery embossing powder, and that was the matte embossing powder. And then, as you can see, I've ripped this background paper that I'd already inked up, and this is why I said to you about, you know, the smushing technique. It comes in handy to have a selection of papers ready to hand, because these are the sorts of things as well that you can use them for. Now I have got a dragonfly that I also did on some smushy papers, which I thought about adding, but once I've added the photographs, I'll decide the extras that I'm going to add. I might decide to put a title on there. I thought about including a photo of my mum and dad and a photo of me and my brother in here, and obviously they're personal, and you know, I don't want you to see those, so I'll add my photos afterwards. So that was that one. Now the next one was the one prior to that, which was the 24th. Now then, let me see if I can find it. Oh, it's there, look. Got all my bits sticking out there. And this was the one about the ephemera, adding a piece of ephemera that, you know, you can then tell the story on. And I said that I would tell you this story. So basically, when I was at school, we had a local, a little youth club attached to the school, and I used to go there, and I eventually ended up working at this youth club. And what we did was, every year we used to take a group of disabled children to Guernsey camping. There was a lot of us. So there used to be able-bodied and disabled kids who used to do events and activities whilst we were away in Guernsey camping. So I have printed myself off a couple of vintage looking maps, one of Guernsey and one of Jersey, because occasionally we'd do a day trip across to Jersey. Okay, so here's some photographs, and the one that I was looking for I can't find. There was one particular photo that I'd got in mind and I can't find it, so I'm hoping I might be able to. But this is the group one year of all of us that went. So as you can see, there was a lot of us and we used to have a lot of fun. And then in Guernsey as well, they used to do the flower show. So they used to have all these trucks going round, and they would make whatever out of flowers. So this was all made from flowers, and they were just amazing. That's a photo of Guernsey as we were arriving on the ferry. Now then, this is the tale that I wanted to tell. There was a group of lads who all used to come to the youth club, and one of the gang couldn't make it. He wasn't allowed to come. So the rest of the boys decided that on the first day they would send him a postcard. On the second day they would send him 2 postcards. On the third day, you guessed it, 3 postcards, and so on and so forth. So every day they increased the number of postcards that they were going to send him. And this was them all leaned over after having purchased the postcards, writing them all out. So that was such good fun for that. Now, this next photo is me having a little cocktail, as you do. And yes, I was old enough, just. So they shoved loads of umbrellas in my cocktail drink. That looks like toothpaste. Why have we got toothpaste? Anyway, so I'm going to cut that out and include that. And then there was a photo of me, and then there was a photo of my friend in the same setting. She is very obviously breathing in. Now, I'm not going to show you the photograph because obviously I don't have permission to show that. So she's obviously breathing in and sucking in her stomach. I'm letting it all hang. And I think I was about, well, I don't know, maybe 16, 17 years old. So that was me, look. Rolls of fat. God, that's nothing in comparison to now. And obviously I got naturally curly hair. But the fashion at the time was to have it dead straight. And that didn't work out. So I'm going to include those couple of photographs of myself, include the story of the boys writing the postcards, and then include some other photographs as well, and then the couple of maps. So I'm going to go off now and go and play with these, and then I'll start to work on the other 2 prompts for today and tomorrow. And I'll come back tomorrow and show you where I'm up to and give you the very last prompt on Saturday. The very last prompt for the month. And then on Sunday I'll come back and I'll do a live at about 7 o'clock again, 7 p.m. UK time. So to talk to you about that very first page and about decorating the journal cover. Thanks ever so much for joining me again today. Thank you so much for the well wishes on the community page and on the Facebook group. And I'll see you all again tomorrow. Ta-ra a bit.